Hey guys, it's been a while since I did a chaotic voiceover and also showed you my art. This is a speed paint of my characters, Harrison and Lonan. We're starting with Harrison. My art looks so funny in the beginning stages, and not to get like writerly and philosophical on main, but I think it's kind of funny and a great like opportunity to compare visual art to writing. Trust the process kind of moment. You didn't know, I've been drawing for a really long time, almost as long as I've been writing, which is kind of crazy because I feel like I should probably be better at art at this point. Anyway, but this is Harrison. This is actually a scene from my book, Harrison and Mothwork. It's in the very opening scene of that novel. I have all about my novel videos on Mothwork, so you can check that out. I talk about him all the time, so he's kind of a face you might want to know. Well, I mean, this is what he looks like, so now you got a face to the name. But I have been really wanting to do like movie still type illustrations in my book, but I can't really draw past a portrait. Like, I'm not a figure drawer, so I kind of had to like finagle my way even into this one, even though it's still pretty much just a portrait. But I've done this in Procreate. I have an iPad now, which I feel very fancy. I was able to use my meal plan points to give me an iPad. Thank you, pandemic. But anyway, and this is the first illustration, like the flats like colors, like not my realism painting style, which I have some videos showing, but like the flat style, this is the first time it's actually worked out in Procreate. And in general, I've never been able to do it, probably because color is really difficult for me. Digital color is like impossible for me to understand. This is Harrison. That's basically the end. It was fun. Are you sure you want to do this? Is Harrison's dialogue to Lonan. Him and Lonan are going to burn down his father's dark room. I want to finish this voiceover before we move on to the next one. But anyway, so you're sure you want to do this is about the dark room. And I mean, they don't actually do it, so I guess they weren't sure. But anyway, this is the final piece. You can screenshot it, use it as your wallpaper if you want, because that's what I've done. Anyway, okay, so this is Lonan. Okay, this one was so different, I think, to the Harrison one. I actually didn't think I was going to finish it, but then the sketch kind of turned out better than I thought, so I ended up, continuing with it. This is my poor, pathetic boy. He's so pathetic in this, also like this still image. This is also from Mothwork. It's from, I think, chapter 6, which is called Holy Queen. Basically, Lonan gets beat up in Mothwork because he's dumb. Makes some bad decisions, and karma just kind of comes from him because he's being so annoying in all of Mothwork that, I don't know, God was like, well, you know what, here, get punched in the face. So he has a black eye here, which was actually the first time I've ever drawn a black eye. I think it turned out really good. I mean, it looks kind of painful, so sorry to him, but he is sitting on a curb in this scene and he's waiting for Eliza to come and meet him. Now, Eliza is a woman that he ends up dating, but also a woman that used to date his father, which is, oh God, really complicated. Check out the All About My Novel video on that because it's, very complex. Anyway, so he's sitting on the curb outside of a diner waiting for her. So what I did for the last background for the Harrison one and what I did here is I just found an Unsplash picture. I blurred it. And then I went over with a brush because you can catch me dead trying to draw a background. Listen, work smarter, not harder. So I chose a diner for this one just so, like as an Easter egg, I guess, for the 0.2 seconds it's in this video. This one was kind of more difficult to draw because it's not an angle that, I mean, it's kind of a weird angle. Anyway, I think it turned out kind of good because he looks like he's in pain, which is accurate for Lonan. You saw Harrison's jacket and necklace in the previous picture. He's just gotten that stolen in the middle of getting like beaten up. And he's like, oh, geez, that was my bad. So he's real sad about that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be him. That black eye does not look fun, dude. But his hair looks good. A car door opens, because that's what happens. Her car door opens. So it's in the distance. Oh, we're on to the next one. Okay, so this is the final one. This is Harrison, and this is in Body Back. Mothwork, I wrote in 2019. Body Back is what I am writing right now. It is in Harrison's point of view. It is the novella to Mothwork. So if you're a writer, like sometimes you have to go through the rough stages. You have the ugly phases in a drawing. And the thing is, when I'm doing a drawing, I know that it's the ugly phase. And I know if I just have faith, I'll get out of it. I just feel like writers are a little bit impatient in that way, myself included. It's like, I don't want to look at the ugly phase. I want it to be done. But you kind of have to go through it. Anyway, my metaphor for today. This one was a lot of fun because Harrison is lying down in grass because he's made so many bad decisions. I haven't written this scene yet. In Body Back, it's gonna be like one of the very last scenes. He ends up going a little too ham at a party. Take with that what you will. I'm keeping everything PG on this channel, but just look at his eyes and you can figure out what happens. Anyway, so then he is in a bathtub, and because he has made bad decisions, he ends up like whacking his head. He collapses in the bathtub and then splits open his face. So that's why he's bloody. Also, a prerequisite to drawing anything, I guess, is that the men have to be bloody. The flower behind his ear is really inspired by this music video that I really like. I talked about this in my Body Back kind of intro video, which I'll link. One of my big inspirations for Body Back and the vibes is this song called Honeysuckle by Grayson Chance. Now, Grayson has a live performance where he has a flower behind his ear. I don't think it's actually a honeysuckle. It's just some other flower. But anyway, so I used that as a reference. I screenshotted that video and I used that as a reference for the one that's behind Harrison's ear. So yeah, I mean, at least he looks cute. He's dumb, but he looks cute. This one was fun. I've never actually done a background. This one I actually attempted to do. So I used a stock photo of grass, edited that, and then I got a grass brush. So, I barely did anything. But listen, bare minimum. And I think it turned out really, really nice in the end. But he looks, what's he contemplating? He's contemplating gods. He's contemplating Lonan, probably. That's his whole thing in Body Back, is thinking about God, because he's like, I don't want to think about Lonan. So let me just think about God, who's basically Lonan. Anyway, in his head, at least. This one was fun because I also played around with lighting, which you can see me do right now. I've never in my life done like a dramatic lighting like this. And I guess it's not that dramatic because I made the shadow quite light. But what I ended up doing, something was really missing. So what I did is I looked up a picture of Rembrandt lighting because I was like, okay, well, the light source is over here. It'll cast like a relatively, Rembrandt-y looking light. So I ended up using that as like a reference and painted that in. I think it looked so good. The shadows look great. This is my phone lock screen. So if you want it as your phone lock screen, the final one will come up at the end. And this one's really fun. So I have Lonan on the inside, like on my home screen, and then this one's on my lock screen. Because, that's symbolic. But this one was so fun just because there's so much more movement, I think, than the other ones. You'll see the caption later just says his name. It's like, Harrison? Like, that's dialogue. Well, this guy he's kind of seeing in Body Back ends up finding him at this party that he collapsed out front of. Idiot. Who I love very, very, very much. Look out for my content in April. It's going to be really, really fun. I'm going to be doing some fun stuff for Autism Acceptance Month, which is very important to me. So keep an eye out on that. I will post a community post on it. I just wanted to get something up for you guys. Very busy with finals. But anyway, okay, here's the final one. Thank you for watching. You can screenshot these and you're fine to use them wherever you want. Just, don't pass them off as your own. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Oh my God, this is so chaotic. Okay, see ya.